Faith is not merely a belief, it is a state of being, a vibration, a force that shapes reality. A woman who radiates unshakable faith does not need to see the full staircase to take the first step. She moves forward with certainty, knowing that the path will reveal itself as she walks. She understands that the challenges she faces are not obstacles, but invitations to trust deeper, to believe harder, and to surrender more fully. There are moments when life will test this faith, when the sky darkens and the ground beneath her feet feels uncertain. The world may tell her to be afraid, to retreat, to doubt, but she does not waver. She does not allow the noise of fear to drown out the quiet whisper of truth within her. She knows that divine timing is perfect, even when it does not align with her expectations. She has learned that faith is not about having all the answers, but about believing in the presence of something greater than herself. It is about understanding that delays are not denials and detours are often divine redirections. When others see dead ends, she sees new beginnings. When doors close, she does not crumble. She watches for the ones that are about to open. This kind of faith is not blind optimism. It is a deep, soul-level knowing. It is the ability to stand firm in the face of uncertainty and say, I may not see the way, but I know there is a way. She does not let fear dictate her choices. She does not shrink herself to fit into the mold of comfort. Instead, she leans into trust, allowing divine guidance to illuminate the next step, even if it is only one step at a time. Her strength does not come from what she sees with her eyes, but from what she feels in her spirit. Even in the silence, even in the waiting, she remains steadfast. She understands that faith is not just for the moments when things are going well. It is for the moments when nothing makes sense, when the weight of uncertainty presses down, when the logical mind screams for control. It is in those moments that her faith shines the brightest. She is not easily swayed by temporary setbacks because she sees them for what they are: temporary. She does not allow fear to paralyze her or doubt to steal her vision. She walks forward even when the road ahead is veiled in mist, because she knows that clarity comes through movement. She does not stand still waiting for absolute certainty before she takes action. She understands that faith is active. It requires stepping into the unknown, trusting that every step will either lead her to where she is meant to be or teach her what she needs to learn. This kind of faith is magnetic. It draws in miracles, opportunities, and people who align with her purpose. It is not dependent on external circumstances, but rooted in something unshakable within her. It is the foundation upon which she builds her life, the force that carries her forward when logic says to stop. She does not need to see the entire picture because she knows the artist behind the masterpiece. Pressure is not meant to break you. It is meant to shape you. A woman who understands this truth does not crumble in the face of adversity. She evolves. She knows that every challenge she encounters is not a roadblock, but a doorway, not an end, but a transformation. She has walked through storms that should have destroyed her, yet, instead of being consumed by them, she has emerged stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. She does not ask, why is this happening to me? But instead, what is this teaching me? She understands that pain is not a punishment, but a catalyst for growth. The struggles she has faced have not made her weaker. They have refined her, sharpening her spirit like fire purifies gold. Every heartbreak, every setback, every moment of uncertainty has carved into her a deeper strength, a knowing that she can withstand anything that life brings her way. There was a time when she may have doubted herself, when the weight of her burdens felt too heavy to bear. But then something within her shifted. She realized that the same struggles that once threatened to break her were actually awakening a power she never knew she had. She stopped resisting the challenges and started embracing them, understanding that they were not happening to her, but for her. She knows that transformation is never comfortable. Growth does not come from ease. It comes from friction, from being stretched beyond limits she once believed were unbreakable. When life applies pressure, she does not retreat, she rises. She does not allow hardship to define her. She uses it as fuel to push forward. She is not a victim of her circumstances. She is a warrior shaped by them. There's a fire inside her that refuses to be extinguished. Every challenge she has faced has added to that fire, making it burn brighter, stronger. She has been knocked down, but she has risen every time, because she knows that resilience is not about never falling, it is about never staying down. She carries the scars of her battles not as marks of defeat, but as proof of her strength. She has learned that the most powerful version of herself is forged in struggle. Without resistance, she would never discover the depths of her endurance. Without trials, she would never uncover the courage that lies dormant within her. She has stood in the face of fear, of loss, of uncertainty, and instead of shrinking, she has expanded. She has turned every painful experience into wisdom, every failure into a stepping stone, every doubt into an opportunity for faith. Her strength is not loud or boastful. It is quiet, steady, unwavering. It does not demand recognition because it is not dependent on external validation. It is something she carries deep within her, something unshakable. No matter what life throws her way, she does not break. She transforms. She adapts. She becomes the version of herself she was always meant to be. Gratitude is not just an emotion. It is a way of seeing the world, a shift in perception that transforms everything. A woman whose heart is full of gratitude does not wait for life to be perfect before she appreciates it. She understands that even in the midst of trials, there is something to be thankful for. She does not allow circumstances to dictate her inner state. She chooses to see blessings where others see burdens, abundance where others see lack. She has walked through storms, faced moments of uncertainty, and endured hardships that could have hardened her heart, yet she remains open. She refuses to let bitterness take root in her soul. She knows that gratitude is not about ignoring pain or pretending that challenges do not exist. It is about choosing to focus on the gifts that still remain, even in the darkest moments. When life tests her, she does not ask, "Why me?" Instead, she looks for the lesson, the growth, the hidden treasure within the struggle. She understands that every setback carries within it an opportunity for transformation. She sees the strength she has gained from her trials, the wisdom she has gathered from her failures, and the resilience that has been forged through her pain, and for that, she is grateful. She does not take the simple moments for granted, the warmth of the sun on her face, the laughter of a loved one, the quiet peace of a new morning. She knows that these are not small things, they are everything. She sees abundance not as something that is measured by material possessions, but as a feeling, a knowing that she already has more than enough. She understands that wealth is not just about what she holds in her hands, but what she holds in her heart. Even when life does not go as planned, she remains rooted in gratitude. She knows that delays are not denials, and closed doors often lead to better ones. She trusts that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even when she cannot yet see the full picture. She does not waste time dwelling on what is missing. Instead, she focuses on what is present. She understands that gratitude is not just a response to good things, it is a choice, a discipline, a way of living. Her gratitude is her strength. It allows her to rise above negativity, to shift her focus from problems to possibilities. It keeps her heart light, her spirit lifted, and her energy aligned with the abundance she knows is already hers. She does not wait for a perfect life to be grateful. She creates a beautiful life by embracing gratitude in every moment. She has learned that the more she appreciates, the more she attracts to be thankful for. She does not need a reason to feel blessed because she understands that being alive, being here, being present is reason enough. There is something about her presence that shifts the energy in a room. She does not have to say much. In fact, sometimes she does not have to say anything at all. Her mere existence, the way she carries herself, the way she moves through life with grace and certainty, inspires others. People are drawn to her not because she seeks attention, but because she radiates something deeper, an inner strength, a quiet confidence, a light that cannot be dimmed. Why? She does not try to impress or force herself to be seen. She simply is, and in being fully herself, she gives others permission to do the same. There is something about her that makes people feel safe, understood, and encouraged. It is not about what she wears, what she owns, or the status she holds. It is about the energy she brings. She listens without judgment, speaks with intention, and moves with purpose. She does not demand respect, yet it is given freely. She does not seek admiration, yet people admire her. She has walked through enough struggles to know what pain feels like, and because of that, she carries a heart full of empathy. She does not dismiss the suffering of others, nor does she pretend to have all the answers. Instead, she leads by example. She shows that it is possible to rise after falling, to stand tall after being broken, to shine even after experiencing darkness. Her presence reminds others of their own strength. She does not have to preach or persuade. She simply embodies what is possible. She has cultivated peace within herself, and that peace is felt by those around her. People leave her presence feeling lighter, more hopeful, more seen. She is not perfect, and she does not pretend to be. She has her moments of doubt, her own battles to fight, but she does not let those struggles to fight her. She faces them with courage, and in doing so, she teaches others that they too can overcome. There is something deeply magnetic about a woman who is at peace with herself. She does not need to seek external validation because she knows her worth. She does not shrink herself to make others comfortable, nor does she dim her light for fear of outshining anyone. She understands that her radiance does not take away from others, it invites them to shine as well. She does not just inspire through words, she inspires through action. The way she loves, the way she forgives, the way she continues to rise above negativity, all of it speaks louder than any speech ever could. She understands that true leadership is not about controlling others, but about awakening something in them. When people see her, they are reminded of their own potential. They see her strength and begin to recognize their own. They witness her resilience and start to believe in their own ability to overcome. She moves through life with purpose, knowing that her very existence is a testament to what is possible. She does not force people to change, but her presence plants seeds of transformation. She leads not by command, but by example, and in simply being who she is, she lifts those around her. There is a voice within her, a knowing that does not shout, but speaks in quiet certainty. It is not driven by logic alone, nor is it bound by the limitations of the world around her. It is deeper than thought, more profound than reason. It is intuition, the unshakable, undeniable guidance that comes from within. She has learned to trust it, to follow it, to lean into it, even when everything around her tries to convince her otherwise. The world is filled with noise, expectations, opinions, distractions. At every turn, there are voices telling her who she should be, what she should do, and how she should live. But she does not let those voices drown out her own. She understands that external noise can never replace internal wisdom. She listens, not to the fear-driven warnings of the world, but to the quiet assurance of her soul. She knows that her intuition is never wrong, that it is always guiding her towards something greater, even when the path is unclear. She has not always followed her intuition. There were times she second-guessed herself, times she allowed doubt to creep in, times she let the fear of making the wrong choice keep her from making any choice at all. But life has taught her that ignoring her inner voice leads to misalignment, to detours she was never meant to take. She has learned that every time she follows her intuition, no matter how uncertain or unconventional the path may seem, she is always led exactly where she needs to be. She does not allow fear to dictate her decisions. Fear is loud, urgent, demanding. It tries to keep her small, keep her safe, keep her from stepping into the unknown. But she has come to understand that fear is not a sign to stop. It is a sign to pay attention. It is the barrier that stands between her and the life she is meant to live. She does not let it control her. Instead, she moves forward despite it, knowing that true guidance does not come from fear, but from faith. She has learned to recognize the difference between the two. Fear speaks in panic, in pressure, and the need for immediate answers. It fills her mind with worst-case scenarios and keeps her trapped in indecision. Intuition, on the other hand, speaks in calm certainty. It does not rush her. It does not overwhelm her. It simply nudges her, whispers to her, reminds her of what she already knows deep within. When she follows her intuition, she moves with confidence, even when she cannot see the full picture. She does not need absolute certainty before taking action, because she understands that clarity comes through movement. She trusts that the right answers will reveal themselves in time, that every step she takes in faith will lead her closer to where she is meant to be. She knows that her soul always knows the way. She does not seek validation for her choices. She does not wait for approval before following what she knows to be true. She understands that not everyone will understand her path, and that is okay. Her journey is her own. She does not live according to the expectations of others. She lives according to the deep, unwavering wisdom that has been placed inside her. Love is not something she forces. It is something she is. It moves through her effortlessly, touching everyone she meets, not because she tries to prove anything, but because it is simply a part of her being. She has no walls around her heart, no conditions attached to her kindness. She gives, not to be seen, not to be acknowledged, but because love is her nature. It flows from her like a river, boundless and uncontainable, nourishing everything in its path. She has learned that true love is not about possession or control. It is about freedom. She does not withhold love to punish, nor does she give it with expectation. She understands that love is not a transaction. It is not something to be measured or weighed. It is infinite, and the more she gives, the more she has. She does not fear running out because she knows that love is not something external. It is something that flows from within. Kindness is her instinct, not because life has always been easy, but because she knows what it means to walk through pain. She has felt heartbreak, disappointment, and loss, yet she has chosen to remain open. She does not let past wounds make her bitter. Instead, she lets them deepen her compassion. She does not see kindness as weakness. She sees it as power, as the ability to uplift, to heal, to transform. She loves without hesitation, without needing a reason, without waiting for someone to earn it. She understands that love is not about deserving, it is about being. And because she sees love as abundant, she does not fear giving it away. Whether through a simple smile, a word of encouragement, or an act of selflessness, she allows love to move through her, unrestricted and pure. She receives love just as freely as she gives it. She does not shrink from it, does not question whether she is worthy. She knows that love is not something to be chased or grasped. It is something to be accepted, something that already exists within and around her. She does not resist affection, nor does she dismiss kindness offered to her. She allows herself to be seen, to be held, to be cherished, knowing that love is meant to flow in both directions. Even in a world that can sometimes seem harsh and unkind, she remains unchanged. She does not let negativity harden her, does not let cruelty make her forget who she is. She continues to give, continues to believe, continues to choose love, because she understands that love is the most powerful force there is. She knows that every small act of kindness has the potential to ripple outward, changing lives in ways she may never even see. She does not reserve her love only for those who give it in return. She extends it to strangers, to those who have nothing to offer, to those who may never even realize the depth of her generosity. She understands that love given freely is never wasted, that every act of kindness plants a seed, whether or not she is there to see it bloom. She does not love because she expects something in return. She loves because she cannot help but do so. It is who she is. She does not wait for miracles to happen. She manifests them. She understands that faith is not passive. It is an active force that aligns her with the very life she is meant to live. She does not beg for blessings, nor does she chase after opportunities in desperation. Instead, she moves with certainty, knowing that what is meant for her is already making its way into her reality. Her faith is not in chance, nor is it in circumstances. It is in something far greater. She trusts in divine timing, in unseen forces working on her behalf, in the power of belief itself. She does not allow doubt to take root in her mind, because she knows that whatever she focuses on expands. She refuses to dwell on limitations, on what is lacking, on what could go wrong. Instead, she sets her mind on possibilities, on abundance, on the truth that she is capable of creating anything she desires. She has seen the evidence of this power in her own life. The moments when doors opened seemingly out of nowhere, when the right people appeared just when she needed them, when everything aligned in ways she never could have planned. She knows that these were not coincidences. They were the result of her faith, her energy, her ability to see beyond her current reality and believe in something greater. She does not operate from a place of fear or scarcity. She does not chase after things in desperation, fearing they will slip away. Instead, she moves with the confidence of someone who knows that what she seeks is already seeking her. She aligns her thoughts, her emotions, and her actions with the life she wants to create, and in doing so, she becomes a magnet for miracles. She does not get discouraged by temporary obstacles. She understands that delays are not denials, that setbacks are often setups for something even greater. When she encounters resistance, she does not shrink back. She pushes forward, knowing that faith is not about seeing the entire path, but about trusting each step along the way. She listens to her intuition, follows the quiet guidance that speaks to her, and allows herself to be led toward the opportunities that are meant for her. She does not compare her journey to others. She knows that what is hers cannot be taken by anyone else, that the blessings meant for her are uniquely designed for her path. She does not waste time in envy or self-doubt. Instead, she celebrates the success of others, knowing that their wins are proof of what is possible. She understands that the universe is abundant, that there is more than enough to go around, and that the only thing standing between her and her dreams is her own belief. She carries herself with a deep sense of purpose, knowing that she was not placed on this earth by accident. She knows that she has a mission, a calling, a destiny that is unfolding before her. She does not play small, does not settle for less than she deserves, does not allow fear to dictate her choices. She manifests miracles because she expects them, because she prepares for them, because she believes in them long before they appear. And in doing so, she creates a life that is not just ordinary, but extraordinary.